Today we're talking about the difficult conversation of all lives matter versus Black Lives Matter. And this conversation is really big this week. You probably heard it. It goes something like this. Black lives matter. What do you mean? Black lives matter. They matter. Well, all lives matter. What do you mean all lives matter? You don't care about them? No, I care about them, but you don't know. Big fight starts, right? All lives matter war versus the Black Lives Matter war. It's a very difficult conversation to have. Now, fortunately, I've studied psychotherapy and I have 10 years experience with difficult conversations studying social dynamics. And I teach it worldwide. So I'm going to show you exactly today how to solve that conversation and deal with that argument. It's a very difficult conversation to have, right? So first of all, got the handy dandy whiteboard here. What happens? You try to have this conversation, but a few things come up. There's a few excuses or problems that happen in your mind. The challenge is, first of all, I can't talk about it because I'm going to lose friends. So you think that if you bring this up, you try to talk to your white friends or your POC, they call it person of color now. You try to talk to your white friends or your people of color, whatever side you're on is going to be a misunderstanding. They're going to be mad at you or be think you're against them. They're going to think you have the intention to harm them, right? You're just if I had this conversation, it's going to go badly. I don't want to have it at all. I don't want to, lose friends from this, right? Especially let's say if you're a white person and you have a very traditional grandmother or uncle who kind of doesn't get along with people, that are different nationalities. It's a typical conversation to have. Next challenge you could be having is, I don't know enough about people of color to have an opinion. So you're thinking, maybe I'm a white person and I don't really have that many black friends. I grew up in the suburbs. I don't have that many Indian friends. I don't know a lot about people of color. So if I had this conversation, I'm going to look stupid. And how do I even know enough to have an opinion? I don't know enough about what I don't know. You might be thinking that. You don't even know what you don't know to have that conversation. So you're stuck there and it freezes you and holds you back from having that dialogue. Okay, another one could be, I don't want to feel guilty, right? Because if you say that you think that Black Lives Matter, you're going to feel guilty. Are you going against your own race? Are you going against people? Are you going against people that you know? Are they having different opinions than you? And so you feel really bad. You feel stuck, ashamed. You feel like you don't even want to open up, right? I don't want these things to stop you. Imagine how your life is going to be like if you are stuck having ridiculously lame conversations with people. Imagine what your life is going to be like if you can't express yourself, what you really think. You're going to constantly feel trapped in your own jail cell of your mind. You're going to feel stuck. You're going to feel like you can't express yourself. It's going to suck. It's going to suck. Your life will be miserable. You'll be a fraud. You'll be someone who can't express yourself. You'll be somebody who cannot understand what the people are going through and connect with them. So you got to have this solved. Let me break it down for you what exactly is happening here. I have some diagrams. All right. This is what's happening. Okay? This is how people work. This is people. This is you. This is everybody else. Okay? This is you, and this is people that you want to talk to. Whether you're on the All Lives Matter section or you're on the Black Lives Matter section, whatever team you belong to, but any conversation, this is how it works. Everybody has their own ego, you included. Everybody has their own set of values, what they think is right or wrong. Everybody has their own beliefs, the way they see themselves and the way they see other people. And everybody has their own set of rules of how they think life should be. Life should be fair. It's not always, right? But we have these set of rules. Now these rules, you walk up to somebody and you can't even see what their values, their rules, or their beliefs are. In fact, if you talk to somebody, you're not even talking to them. You're talking to their ego. You're talking to their values. You're talking to their beliefs, talking to their rules. And it doesn't mean that they are a bad person. That's not what it means, okay? It doesn't mean that at all. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person if somebody doesn't see the same as you or somebody disagrees with you. All that it means is that your environment has been different. Your environment and your life has been different. That's all that it means. That we talk about in psychotherapy. This is a cognitive behavioral therapy breakdown, okay? So you understand what's happening. Your environment and your life has been different, and their environment and their life has been different. And that goes straight into the brain. It doesn't even stop. It goes straight into the unconscious brain, right in here. There's no filter, just goes straight in. But people, we're lucky. because we can choose what we believe, we can choose our values. We can choose that as it comes out of our mouth. We can choose to change it. Okay? Your values and your beliefs are made for you based on your environment. You don't really think about it. It's subconscious. But you can choose your rules. You can choose your beliefs. You can choose your value if you think about it on the way out. That's your conscious mind, all right? So when you're talking to somebody and you're saying, oh, Black Lives Matter, for example, and they say, all lives matter. That response of all lives matter, that's not even them. That's their subconscious mind. That's the ego responding. Boom! Ego's responding. It's attacked. Ego's under attack. You say to somebody, all lives matter, and they go, actually, I believe that there's injustice in the world, so Black Lives Matter. That's their beliefs talking. It's not even them. This has all been installed in their brains subconsciously. No one has chosen these things. So you got to understand when you're talking to somebody where this is all coming from. All right? Don't take it personal. None of this take it personal. Some people are, most of us are not even aware of what our ego, values, beliefs, and rules are. It's automatic. 90% of it, 95% of it is automatic in the background of our brain. So really, if you have somebody that's saying Black Lives Matter, or somebody who's saying all lives matter, I think we all believe in justice, right? We all do. We all believe in getting what we want that we think is ours. But what's happening? This is getting in the way. This is getting in the way. But deep down, the question is, are we both people trying to say the same thing? Are we both people that are trying to say the same thing? And I bet they are. When somebody says Black Lives Matter, what they're saying is, let's focus on the problem and let's fix the problem so that everybody is equal. And when somebody says all lives matter, they're saying the same thing. They're saying all lives should be equal. It's an ideal. All lives should be equal. Doesn't mean they're ignoring the problem. It means they're trying to say that all lives should be equal. But they're not able to express it that way. Okay? And when somebody says Black Lives Matter, it's like they're looking at the challenge or the problem. Okay? All this can be solved. All this can be resolved. And by the way, if you're just joining us now, I have a free conversation 7-day challenge. That challenge is available to you right now. You can learn how to have these conversations. You can learn how to solve these challenges with people. You're going to learn how to influence yourself and your beliefs, your values, your rules, and you're going to learn how to influence other people in the way they see the world. So you can have a smooth conversation. If anybody wanted to be a smooth talker just like me, there's ways to do it. There's plug and play ways to do it. It's going to change your life. It's going to be the best thing you've ever done. You know, I've never done anything like this before, ever. I've never done a 7-day challenge. So I put a lot of work into this to make sure it's useful for you, to make sure it changes your life. So you got to apply for the 7-day challenge, okay? And I always say it's a no-brainer, but literally it's crucial. You need to do this now to survive. There's no way in your life that you can get through this world, the current world that we live in, without learning how to have great conversations. Okay, you got to do it. If you want to get a job in this environment, this economy, you got to be able to do this, have great conversation skills with people. If you want to learn how to be able to make money and not lose the job you have, if you get a promotion or raise, got to do it. If you're going to start your own hustle and be a coach, you're going to be a conversation coach, or you're going to be a fitness coach, or you're going to be a life coach, or you're going to be a nutritionalist, you got to go out and meet people and convince them of what you're doing is good, that's going to benefit them. Without making it feel forced, you got to let them know in a way that's interesting them. All the results and benefits you're going to get from it. That's a conversation, okay? You need to learn how to have this. You're going to survive in today's world. It's not an option. Click that link. It's going to allow you to sign up for the free 7-day conversation challenge we have starting, okay? Do that right now. And then come right back. So, where were we? Are both people trying to say the same thing? Yes. But you got to learn how to say it in a way where it doesn't trigger the ego, where their values don't get in the way, their beliefs don't get in the way, the rules don't get in the way. You got to say it in a way where it gets into their brain without them getting defensive, without them being triggered. You got to put the information in there, all right, before it hits that wall. So how do we do that? There's a few ways we can do it, okay? I'm going to give you a few sentences here, a few phrases. The first one I'm going to give you, these are just a few. There's many, many more. And these are inside my conversation course, okay? My conversation mentoring. First one you could use, I'm not sure if you know this, but, right? I'm not sure if you know this, but, blah, 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 whatever the sentence is. I'm not sure if you noticed, but this marker is green. If I just say, hey, idiot, this marker's green, what are you, blind? Right? The person's not going to process it. But if I'm like, hey, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but this marker's green. It lets a person's wall go down. They're less defensive as you're speaking to them. It lets them process and take in what you're saying before getting defensive. You're creating a space for them to actually listen to you. Okay? Next one. You probably already thought about this, but you're a smart person. You probably already thought about this. I know you've probably thought about this sometimes, but black people have had 400 years of slavery, and they've had civil rights for only 50, 60 years, right? You're giving them the information in a way that they can process it without getting defensive, right? Even if you're going for a raise at a job, you can say this to your boss. Hey, you probably already thought about this, but I've completed 5 projects this year, which is more than anybody else on the team, right? Instead of saying, hey, boss, are you an idiot? There's a way to say it and still get the person's attention, get all the benefits that you want, get the promotion, get the job, get the person to listen to you without triggering those defenses, all right? And another one that I'm going to give you here is, I know you mean well. I know you mean well. This is a very special one. This is a very, very special one. I'm going to explain why I know you mean well is a game changer. When somebody is speaking to you, or you're speaking to somebody else, there is what you're saying and there's an intention. And people usually think your intention is to hurt them, or your intention is to call them stupid. Your intention is to not listen to them. That's what they're really looking for. They don't even want to solve the problem. They're just thinking, is this person here to attack me? Fight or flight. So I know you mean well signals you have a good intention to the person, no matter what you're saying. I know you mean well, but you ate the last piece of chocolate. I know you mean well because you're hungry, but that was my piece of cake. I know you mean well when you say this and you're not trying to hurt me, but this is how I felt. I know you mean well when you say that all lives matter. You mean that all God's creatures are equal. But da-da-da-da. Or however, da-da-da-da. You can break it down more detail, okay? You can go further with it. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, okay? This is not going to solve all your problems, but it's a good start to having this all lives matter versus Black Lives Matter debate. There's a war going on outside in our world right now, and it's not going to calm down. Gun stocks are up 30%, okay? Gun sales and ammunition are up 400%. It's not going to stop anytime soon. There's no resolution in sight. You got to learn how to have these difficult conversations if you don't already know. You got to learn how to have them. No one is born knowing this stuff. We have to learn it, and it's your responsibility. As I said, this is survival right now. You cannot make it through the new world without understanding this. The old world that you lived in is gone. Absolutely gone. It's finished. You got to adapt to what? That's right. You got to adapt to survive. So if you want to survive, you have to get conversation skills handled. All right? Lucky for you, as I mentioned, I have a free 7-day conversation course available. This challenge is for you. And it's your jumpstart to getting this handled, to learning how to survive in this new world. Adapt or die. And nobody wants to die alone. These conversation skills can help you meet somebody who's incredible that you want to have in your life. These conversation skills can help you to use and adapt to the life that you have right now. The person who's in your life, if you're dating somebody, if you have a significant other, if you're dating somebody, you'll be able to get them to do adventurous things with you. Get them to be the partner that you want. Learn how to express it so they don't reject it. Figure out fights, work through relationships. I heard divorce rates are going to be crazy after quarantine. You want to learn how to have those conversations without getting a divorce or a separation from your person. This is how you do it. You want to learn how to make more money or keep your job that you have? You got to learn how to be smooth talking. Nobody cares if you work at a company. They're saying, can you bring in more customers? Can you bring in more clients? The way to do that is not your great website, it's your conversation skills, okay? You have to have those conversation skills. So go to the link in my bio. My profile is madisonhimself.com. Go to the link in my bio. It will take you to the Facebook group to sign up for the free conversation challenge, okay? This is the best thing I've ever done. You're gonna be so happy you did this. I'm really, really excited about this. I've never done a conversation challenge before, so you know if I do, it's gonna be the best thing I could ever create. It's the best thing I could ever do. I'm really, really excited about this, because I know the results people are gonna get.